That's right, buddy.
What's going on?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
You what?
Oh, there was a thing about the Vampire Diaries spinoff being canceled on CW.
Oh no.
CW's just fucking axing everything at this point.
Are they?
Like they canceled Legends of Tomorrow, they canceled Batgirl, they canceled Supergirl already ended. Like the axe, I can't, there's some other things too. Like they're just shoveling shit away. Who knows why? But other than the fact it's probably costing them a shit ton of money. But whatever.
Yeah. I never watched any of those shows. I haven't watched CW in probably about 6 or 7 years.
Well, you ain't missing much, buddy. You ain't missing much at all.
Much. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched Flash since season 4 maybe, and they're in season 8 or something like that.
And you really like that show.
Yeah, it was good. It just got kind of repetitive after a while. They were just whatever. And then Arrow, I finished Arrow. It got a little at the end too.
Nope, didn't watch either of those.
That's fair.
You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. To each their own, as some would say.
I just didn't really care for those. I don't know, those types of shows.
I mean, they weren't bad, but they did throw a little too much drama in them, and they kind of got a really. I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, they're not going to follow story arcs from the comic book series. I don't know why they wouldn't, but they don't. But these got a little too much. I don't know.
I suppose there's that, and then you go and watch shows from HBO Max or anything like that, and you see that the production value that they put into these types of things, even though it's still considered somewhat low budget for these types of platforms, and then you go watch something on network cable, and it's
yeah,
it just doesn't look good. It would look fine to if it were 20 something years ago when I was a kid watching Hercules Legendary Journeys.
Hell yeah, dog.
Or Xena Warrior Princess. That stuff was campy and fun and awesome. But you do that nowadays and it just looks low budget and weird, and I don't know. I know it sounds like I'm knocking it, and I guess I kind of am, but at the same time it's I guess my tastes have refined, and trying to go back to that type of stuff. It's I don't know. I don't have the ability even in gaming to go back and play really old games, because I just look at that stuff and go, I could be doing something that is newer and better, and something I could enjoy and gawk at the graphics at, instead of going back to something that is super old and something that I don't really care to look at.
So does that include classic games you've never played?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, why go back? Especially, and
I'm not really knocking anybody that does do that loves to go back and play old school games, but it's just not for me. It's not something I necessarily do.
I mean, it makes sense. It's definitely something you
I would play
have to do.
Old school games that have been updated, such as there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game coming out, and that's not something I actually have pulled up here. It's just something I remembered from a week ago that was announced, and I cannot remember the name of it, but remember that old school side-scrolling TMNT Turtles in Time game? If I recall right, this is a sequel to that, but it is done in a very similar fashion to it.
Yeah, it's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Revenge of Shredder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you take something like that, where it is that old school gameplay style, and then you give me something new and prettier to look at. I'm on board.
Is it Shredder's Revenge?
I did love that.
Shredder's Revenge, I'm sorry.
Shredder's Revenge?
Shredder's Revenge, yeah, I'm sorry.
I never exactly beat the original game. I remember getting to Shredder at the very end there in the Technodrome, but never being able to beat him. Because it came out on the SNES at one point in time, and I either knew someone who had it or like rented the SNES and Turtles in Time at the same time. I never owned an SNES, a SNES as they call it.
SNES.
But I do have fond memories of that. Would I ever go back and play that? No, I have no real desire to go back and play that game. But if you made an updated version of that game, I would play it. Especially if I had multiple friends that I could play with, either locally or over the internet with. It'd be fun.
It's true.
But yeah, they're making a sequel to it, Revenge of Shredder or whatever it was that you said it was.
Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge. So I would definitely be down to playing something like that. Again, I don't remember if it supported online play.
It does.
Or if it was like local only co-op.
It's online as well. I just pulled it up.
It's online as well.
Yeah.
It would make sense in this day and age. But, yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I understand that it's weird. But it's just how I am. It's like once I've played a game, I don't ever replay that game. It has no... Unless it's like a persistent game like Destiny. Destiny is a game where you can play the main game and then you keep going back to get better loot drops or do whatever the
seasonal content is.
The seasonal content, yeah. But I mean like the strikes and stuff like that. There is stuff that you can keep going back for. But like single player games that I've beaten, I will never ever go back and replay that game. No matter how much I enjoyed the game or how fondly I think of the game. Like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm never going to go back and replay that. But it was a really great game. I love that game.
It was a great game.
I'll never go back and play that game. It's just how I am.
Hey man, you ain't got time to play some bullshit you already played.
Right. I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
You don't have to justify that, Joe. It makes perfect sense. There are people out there who and it's a twofold thing. There's some people who just do that because out of anxiety and like lack of like, faith or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a comfort thing. You get used to it. You want to play those games well, blah blah blah. And then there's those people who like they dig replaying a game and like, getting better at it or whatever. I'm not going to say speed running, but just like perfecting the gameplay out of it.
Yeah.
But
or going back and seeing multiple endings, but you have to like play through the game in order to actually get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I'm not that type of person.
I found a list of CW shows they've canceled so far.
All right, hit me.
All right, so we have Dynasty after 5 seasons, which I didn't even know that show went 5 seasons, but that's fucking bonkers.
I didn't even know Dynasty was... Wait, wasn't that like an old soap opera?
Yeah, they brought it back, 5 years ago, apparently, or 5 seasons ago. And then they did the same thing with Charmed, and they just canceled that after 4 seasons.
Yeah, I knew that came back, yeah.
A show called Into the Dark, which I have no idea what it is, but that was canceled after 4 seasons.
Okay.
Roswell, New Mexico after 4 seasons.
I didn't even realize that made it past the first season.
Yeah, well, it did.
I mean, again, I don't watch CW stuff, but like I have actually heard of that.
Yeah. Then you have Legacies, which is the Vampire Diaries spin-off show. That got canceled after 4 seasons. The reboot of 4400 I don't know what it is, but after 1 season, 4400 got removed as well.
More?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Naomi got axed after 1 season. And then Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman were canceled as well. So yeah, yeah, they axe a lot of stuff, a lot of things. Yikes! But they do have a bunch of other stuff coming up. They have a supernatural prequel series called Winchesters.
Right, that's the one that Jensen Ackles is helming or like helping production of. I can't remember exactly.
I think he's producing it. Yeah, executive producing it. Then you have the spin-off of Walker, called Walker Independence, which I have no idea what that actually is. And then I didn't know there's a show coming out called Gotham Knights.
Oh, no, yeah.
No, that's a game you're thinking of.
No, it's not. Well, yes, it is. It's actually something I was going to talk about a little later. But no, wasn't that we had talked about something a while ago. Oh, my God, what was it? It was about the police.
No, that's the one that's on HBO.
Max.
This is a different show. Because this is CW.
Yeah.
Gotham Knight. You're thinking of the Arkham show that they're doing along with the Penguin show.
No, I know we've talked about this before.
Nah, bro. I don't think we
sure
have. I'm pretty positive you're incorrect.
I'm looking it up now. Gotham Knights TV series on IMDb. Bruce Wayne is murdered. His adopted son forges an alliance with the children of Batman's enemies. The city becomes more dangerous. However, mismatched fugitives will become its next generation of saviors, known as the Gotham Knights. I still want to say that we've talked about this. I want to say it.
Well, one of the so Misha Collins from Supernatural is going to be in it. He's playing Harvey Dent.
Or at least that's according to what IMDb
that's what it says here.
Says. I'm looking at some of the other cast, and none of them ring any more bells to me.
Yeah, no, I had no idea this was coming out. No clue whatsoever. Carrie Kelly? What the fuck?
Wait. Really?
Yeah. Navia's, I don't even know how to say that middle name, Robinson, is listed here on IMDb as Carrie Kelly.
I wasn't even paying attention to the character names.
Stephanie Brown, that's Batwoman. Right? Is that Batwoman? Stephanie Brown, is that one of the Batwoman ones? I can't remember.
Either way, this seems like a tie-in to the game. It really does.
I mean,
because that's what the game is based off of. Essentially, it takes place after the last Arkham game, where Bruce is dead. I honestly don't think he's dead, but we'll say he's dead. Which means there's a vacuum in Gotham, and I can't remember all the characters in it, but you have Nightwing. I want to say one of the Robins is in it. I can't remember which one.
It's his kid. Damian.
Damian, there we go. It's been a long time since I've seen those comics. Damian, and then Red Hood, and then Batgirl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But this looks like it's going to be a CW show, so it's nothing I'm going to watch. It's all young actors. And honestly, you call it Arkham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Sorry, Gotham Knights. And there is, I mean, at least from in here, I don't see anybody, at least any big name characters.
I mean, besides Harvey Dent.
Yeah, but Harvey Dent. But
Carrie Kelly.
It says that. But again, like, is this like Carrie Kelly only really came up in Frank Miller's Batman when he was like super fucking old?
You're correct.
When you say Gotham Knights to me and talk about his adopted son forges an alliance with the children of Batman's enemies, the city becomes more dangerous. So like, I don't see those characters here, is what I'm saying. Who's his adopted son?
Which, what do you mean?
So Bruce Wayne is murdered. His adopted son forges an alliance with the children of Batman's enemies. Who are they? Because I don't think any of them are listed here.
Oh, well, there's Jason Todd, who technically turns into Red Hood.
Right. So no one's listed here as being Jason Todd.
Okay.
At least on IMDb. That's what I'm saying.
I don't even see... It's not even listed as something that Misha Collins is doing, according to Wikipedia. So that doesn't make me feel good.
Right.
I mean, there's a bunch of shit online if you Google it. It pulled up a bunch of shit, but nothing that Collider. What do you got? Collider. Oh, published 3 hours ago. Oh, ordered to series by CW. Oh shit. Well, Oscar Morgan is playing the adopted son of, which is funny. It says Batman's latest adopted son.
His latest adopted son? I mean...
Yep. While much of the plot of Gotham Knights is still being kept under secrecy, the series takes place after Bruce Wayne got killed. Okay, that's a real weird way of saying it. And the Batman is no more. In the wake of his father's death, Batman's late... It's so weird they say Batman's adopted son. Like, Batman didn't go down and adopt somebody.
Right.
Adopted son, in quotes, or in parentheses, Oscar Morgan, whoever the fuck that guy is, joins forces with the sons and daughters of some of the Dark Knight's rogue gallery member. Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah, he teams up with the kids.
Of the bad guys?
Of the bad guys. That's what IMDb said.
The fuck? I did not even pay attention to the words you said then.
Yeah, no, it, and that's why I kept saying, like, it said Batman's adopted son teams up with the children of his greatest enemies. And it's like, okay, but no one here is listed as being any of that. So that's what I was wondering, like, who are we seeing in this?
What the fuck?
And the fact that that's also another reason why I said this sounds like a very CW show, because it's all about the kids.
What the fuck? Yeah, this show sounds stupid. So it's like it can't even be a tie-in to the video game because it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
The video game
it is definitely its own thing, but it is definitely a CW-ized DC property, as much like what was the other show that they had for a while with young Selena Kyle and
that was on CW, that was on Fox.
Oh, was that on Fox? It rings the same here. And that one actually had young Bruce Wayne in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually he started training with it was called Gotham, and he started training with Alfred to become what would have been Batman eventually. Made no fucking sense.
Yeah. But fine, whatever. I mean, CW, I guess, can have the kiddie-ized versions of the DC stuff, and then you can just take HBO Max and make the more adult version of all that stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, just why? I mean, do whatever you want. You own the intellectual property. Do what you want, but it just seems like a fucking dumb idea to waste money on. Instead of like investing money on something that could be good, they're gonna make this bullshit. But it's CW, like you said. That's what they do. They don't fucking make good shows. They make fucking fluff garbage.
Yeah. But we can pivot from that. And have you seen the video game?
I saw the trailer they released, like, it seems like fucking 9 years ago now. What do I think it was, like, last year or whatever. And then I know I watched a snippet of the gameplay they released last week. Was it last week they released it?
So it was the gameplay action with Red Hood and Nightwing.
Yeah, it was like I didn't watch all like 18 minutes of it. I just watched like a couple minutes that someone had snipped up somewhere. I think IGN had like a little snippet or something like that. Sounds like something
Yeah, I
they
think
would
it
do.
was IGN's coverage that I watched of it. What was your take on it? What you saw? Because I watched all of it, and I have mixed feelings about it.
I didn't, from what I remember from the trailer, which had gameplay stuff in it. I think, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong with that. I wasn't overly impressed. It just seemed like a multiple character version of the Arkham games, but with like, you know, not great looking combat. And I could be wrong about that, but that's what it felt like.
Combat aside, I think combat is going to be very similar to the Arkham games. Why break something that is fixed, essentially?
You say that, but
I say that not knowing the exact, like, I didn't watch somebody play it. I didn't have them explain it to me. But the 18-minute video, first off, the reason why I want to talk about it is because it has been canceled for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So there's not going to be...
Oh, it's only next gen?
It is only next gen. As of yesterday, I believe it was that I read it.
Holy shit.
According to comic book... Or no, was it Kotaku? Comic book. Comicbook.com. Yeah, so it's not going to be released on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, which I was going to say probably also means Xbox One X, but more than likely, yes, that is a one console. So yeah. So if I wanted this, I need a Series X or a PlayStation 5, more than likely a Series X, because I'm not going to get a PlayStation 5. But yeah. But as far as gameplay goes, it at least from the 18-minute footage that was released, which was literally just a combat mission for Nightwing and Red Hood, it looked really good. I don't really know if
Why the fuck does he have a hang glider?
So that was leading into one little bit of a complaint that I had.
Was he in Fortnite?
Well, keep watching. So they introduce Nightwing first, and they explain how Nightwing gets around the city. One of the ways that he gets around the city, so Batman had his glide ability, which was a great way to get around the city. So a lot of these characters don't have that type of ability in order to get around the city. So they gave Nightwing a glider. They call it something specific too, and I can't remember what it was. But they give him a glider to basically
hold
glide around the city.
Does the Red Hood have magic powers?
Yes. So that, in and of itself, is explained away as Red Hood died, was resurrected in a Lazarus pit. When he comes back, he now has magical abilities. One of them, the ability to do a jump somersault and then magic a platform and land on it, and then somersault off of that, magic another platform. That's his quote unquote glide ability. Yeah, right? It seems kind of forced.
I don't like any of this.
Which is pretty funny too, because later, you pretty much have to watch the whole entire thing, but at the end of the video, they show kind of like an Arkham Knights, where you were in the in the Batmobile, and you were chasing down the I'm trying to remember. It was those chase sequences. They weren't Riddler sequences. They were Arkham sequences, I think. But basically, the chase sequences where you had to blow up or shoot up that car or whatever it was that you're chasing down. They have sequences like that, but you're on the Bat motorcycle essentially. And
yeah, I'm watching the Red Hoods on a motorcycle getting bombed by a truck of some sort.
Yeah, so you're chasing the truck down. you catch up with the trunk at one point, and that all happens. It looks cool, looks really cool. But it's after that they Red Hood pulls out a bat grapple and shoots it up and goes up, and it's like, wait, what? So he still has the bat grapple, but his glide ability is magic. Is explained away by the powers after resurrection from a Lazarus pit.
Oh, the combat looks terrible.
The combat, I think it does look a bit clunky in this. And I think that's partially because there is a new mechanic, and this is the problem that I have with the game. Like, it looks good enough, as we've talked about it, but they kind of, it's like going from Ghost Recon Wildlands to Ghost Recon Wildlands 2, where they have made it your character upgradable. So as you progress, you can find materials and you can find blueprints, and then you use those materials and blueprints to get better armor or to get better weapons.
Okay.
So it introduces looter elements to the Arkham series, which I don't think work like this. And to be honest with you, I hate it when companies do stuff like this because it doesn't work. You're trying to introduce Destiny style elements to a single player game, but to me that doesn't work. Like, give me a good narrative.
What the
and
fuck
I think
is
what
this?
they did in the Arkham games, especially when it came to like upgrades, you were essentially getting the things that you needed at the point in time in the story, which made somewhat sense. And then you were able to just upgrade the power or ability of those things based on your XP, which was perfectly fine to me. But now you're getting into this, well, I need to collect so many of such a thing and then find a blueprint for a suit over here, and then I can then, craft that suit with all the crafting materials I have. No, don't do that. I want to say, because there was an article that I was reading about it as well, that they were basically, they were shitting on it as well, that mechanic of it, but they made the point of, like, is this what companies think that replayability is? Like, once I get done with the game, I'm going to be like, oh, I want the best armor and weapons in the game, so I'm going to go grind for those things in a single player game? No, don't do that. I think it's awful, and I do not like that aspect of it. And honestly, it would probably drive me away from actually even playing this game. And I've played all of the Arkham games. I loved all of the Arkham games. When they announced Arkham Knights, Gotham Knights, I was stoked about it because it's continuing the story, which at this point in time, Batman is theoretically dead. But I don't think he's actually dead. You're introducing the Court of Owls into this.
Yeah, he just opened
the whole entire trailer.
I skipped forward a little bit.
You get to see a fight with one of their, I think they called it Gladiator.
Oh, it's not a Talon?
One's not a Talon, no. It's a Gladiator. Yeah. I believe is what they called it.
They have the owl masks on.
But they have the owl masks on, and it's a dope storyline to be able to follow. But if you're going to force me to play through looter shooter style stuff where I have to collect things and then craft things, that's not Batman to me. And it's a mechanic that I hate. That's why we never even played Ghost Recon's Wildlands 2, because they completely changed
the game itself.
The game itself, and what was a fun game became a Division. And don't get me wrong, we played Division 1 and Division 2, which, by the way, Division got an update.
Yeah, Season 9 or whatever.
Season 9, which is apparently adding new content to it.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves.
But again, if I want to play Division, I will go and play the Division, which has those mechanics in it.
Yeah, because that's what that game was originally.
That's what that game was. if I want to go play Wildlands, I want to go play a game where it takes one shot to kill a guy, not a billion shots to kill a guy. You know, I want to play a game where where I can sneak around an area with 3 of my friends, hop into a helicopter, fly across the map, and just have fun doing stuff. Or I can play a game with 3 of my friends where we're basically playing real, quote unquote, Destiny stuff. You know, it's a very different mechanic, and they're very different games, and they're fun in their own right, but I did not want Ghost Recon Wildlands Division, and I don't want Destiny Arkham City, Gotham Knights. So I'm probably turned off at this point of playing the game by watching this trailer and knowing more about it. But anyway, at that point too, like I said, I'd have to buy a new console, and I have no plans of doing that at any time soon. And this game's not going to make me buy a console.
Yeah, this is not selling next-gen consoles.
No.
Why would he just... Okay. Ooh, hey, if you pre-order, you get the K33 custom Bat Cycle.
Ooh, whoopee.
What, Joe? You don't want to get the... It has neon lights on it, looks like... Oh, no, I think it's just... Oh, no, those are lights. Ooh, don't look at that, Joe.
There's no... Pre-orders for games have become so lame.
Yeah, dude, of course.
Yeah.
So it has Red Hood, Damien... It has Batgirl, and it has Nightwing in it. Those are the ones.
Okay, so it's Damien who plays Robin.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Damien-ish outfits. None of them look exactly... Well, Nightwing sort of does, but it's armor. Red Hood has a bat symbol on him for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm going to pass on that game. And I have a next-gen console, so... Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, unless they clean things up and make it less looter-shooter-y to me.
And from what I looked at, it's you're not even finding butter loot. You're just getting materials to then...
To be able to craft stuff, yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that game. That game can go die. If you cancel on all the other consoles, too. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Continuing on the game front.
Yes.
There's another game that I was hotly anticipating this year, Starfield from Bethesda.
I bet you're not anymore, are you?
Well, I'm still anticipating it, but I'm going to have to anticipate it a little bit more. So originally it was scheduled to release November 11th, if I recall right, of this year. It has been pushed back until the first quarter of 2023. And that's pretty much all we have to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's good, I would say, to... If the game's not ready, the game's not ready. Don't push something out if it's not ready. Still looking at you, Cyberpunk 2077. But, you know, it still sucks. I will say, too, when they announced that it would be pushed back to 2023, I was like, oh, man, that's like 2 years away. What the fuck?
Joe don't know math.
Joe don't know math. Joe doesn't know what the year he's in. That's my problem. Is for some reason in my head, like this is still just 2021. That's all it is. It's still 2021, when in fact it's 2022. So actually, fair. When I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, that's not that far off.
Yeah, it's like 8-9 months.
It's only 8-9 months. And to be honest with you, with it supposedly being released the original release date in November, to push it back to the beginning, like I said, I think it was Q1 of 2023, that puts it in the January to June, I believe that makes it area. Yeah. So it's not that much of a pushback, is all I'm saying.
And I would rather them definitely take their time I would not. I would not want another Cyberpunk 2070. What is it? 2077.
2077.
Which I do. Speaking of which, I haven't gone back to play it, and I want to, but like I also don't want to. Like I want to because I had fun playing the game until it broke for me.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, just seems like a lot of work.
Oh, it is a lot of work, especially if you want to do all the side missions. It was, man, if I didn't have COVID, I probably would have taken a good 2 months to beat that game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It
was a fun game to play through, and the thing that sucks about it though is obviously that it was promised to be something that you could have like 2 very different playthroughs of the game based on where you started from. Which I know when it came out, I was looking forward to because I knew that I would be playing as
a Corpo?
Nope, not a Corpo.
Oh, you were
what was it? The one that starts outside the city.
Nomad. Yeah.
Nomad, yeah. Nomad, yeah. So I'd start out as a Nomad, and you started out as a Corpo, if I recall right.
Street Kid.
You started out as a Street Kid. So our beginnings would have been totally different. And so I was looking forward to, because again, this goes back into the fact that we discussed earlier that I'm never going to go back and replay that game to see what the Corpo side is, to see what the Street side kid starts as. I've watched the videos to see what those look like at the beginning, but I played through it as a Nomad, and I'm never going to go back through and play that game ever again as something else. I have gone back and through and got 3 of the 4 endings, I want to say it is. I can't bring myself to agree to help Arasaka and get that ending. It's just a
moral indignation.
It's a moral choice. There we go. It's not a very moral ending to me. It's very much so giving into the bad guys type thing.
And Joe ain't no goddamn bad guy.
Ain't no goddamn bad guy. Where was I going with this? But anyway, yeah, so I will never go back through and play those beginnings. So if you were to play through it, I really would have wanted to see how you played through things. But admittedly, once you get past the beginnings, there's just some dialogue differences that you can interact with in the game, but everything else pretty much plays out the same.
Yeah, I figured it did. It's one of those things where, like, one choice probably makes, like one choice towards the end makes you give another option to do this or that. 'Cause, like, even with, like, Mass Effect and stuff, the choices you made didn't really change the narrative of the story. It just changed who you were with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever. That was cool because, like, well, also it kind of sucked because, like, if you wanted to keep a certain person, you had to, like, think about what you're doing, which is a lot of work, I mean? It's like, I don't want to have to think about this myself. I just want to be able to shoot things and blow stuff up and, like, send that little shockwave thing that pops them in the air and then I can shoot them real quick. I can't remember what that power was called, but you'd, like, send a burst of psi energy or whatever through the ground. It would hit somebody. They'd float in the air, like they'd be floating there, and you could shoot them a bunch, and then they would, like, all the damage would happen at once or whatever. But anyways, it just, like, there's a lot of, like, because the thing with Cyberpunk, which I was into because, like, obviously Destiny has kind of gone this way too, where it was like it's RPG adjacent.
Yes.
Like, like it's RPG because you're working on your stats for this or your build, whatever. Because, like, to me, RPG is like Skyrim. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work on your pickpocketing skills to get better at it. So you have to fuck up to get better. And eventually if you play it long enough, like I did, you get 100% and you're pickpocketing and you literally just steal whatever you want. Yeah. That dude, I think that dude has something I want. Steal. Nope. Throw on the floor. Collect all the cabbage. Anyways, like, that like, I played Skyrim probably too many hours. But and it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love Skyrim. It's one of my favorite RPGs. But, like, having a shooter that's like that, like the most RPG-ish game, and I'm playing Tiny Tina's right now, but it's Borderlands to me, is like, it's not like exactly RPG. Again, it's RPG adjacent or RPG light because you have skill trees, you can unlock stuff, blah, 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 right? But like, Cyberpunk to me, I didn't want to go as deep as putting all these mods in. I just wanted to get a cool fucking sword arm or a fucking like gun knee or whatever the fuck they have in that game. You know, I didn't want to have to fucking find this mod to do this and then have to fucking hack this in a certain way to do this. I was like, that just seems like a lot of work. Can't I just shoot things and blow stuff up?
So the thing is, yes, you can do that because honestly, that's the way I played through it. I got some mods, but I never dove into that system too deeply to really utilize it. There was a mod that you could have that you could slow down time for you to make make it so that you can aim faster and whatnot. I never got that thing. There were mods that you could get to make you punch better. I did do that just because I wanted to finish off the brawl. What was the brawlers side quest? Which I did not complete. I got to the end of that, and you basically have to fight ex like boxer, and that thing was just awful and not fun. Like the hand-to-hand mechanics of that game weren't very fun. I just wanted to play that side quest because that's what I was doing at the time, was playing through all the side quests. But yeah, if you just want to go through and just shoot things and not worry about mods, you totally can. That's how I did it. You just go after the better guns, especially the smart weapons. For me, were the ones where you could just aim in a general direction and you just fired off in the air and they just arced around things in order to kill things. Yeah, that's all I used. You don't have to sit there and go through mods and nitpick all the stuff. I didn't even use all my skill tree stuff. Half the time I was just like, I really don't know what this does. But this one says it gives me better, attack power. I want that. This one says it gives me, I don't know, better defenses or something like that. I want that. And then the rest of the stuff was just like, I don't know. I put things into stuff and numbers went up and I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I went around collecting legendary items because I knew that stuff, like better defense, better armor, blah, blah, blah. But the nitty-gritty stuff of upgrading your character in certain ways to make certain builds or adding mods to make yourself faster, I did the bare basic stuff so I could jump higher.
Yeah.
And also use smart guns, and also like one or two other things that just made things that like I think fall damage less or I can't remember them because I didn't use that system at all in the game. I didn't use it. So yeah, you totally can just go through guns a-blazing in that game, just throwing grenades, shooting things. Yeah, you totally can do that.
Because that was my favorite part.
And hacking. Yeah, hacking. I didn't really use hacking much at all. Like, there were a couple of hacks that I would use. I'd go into a battle, be like, okay, cause fire damage on that dude over there. Okay, and then just pop out and start shooting things. That's it. I didn't get into the hacking stuff really either. I did, like, all the ones that you really had to do, really, where you would like hack a terminal, and once it clicked on like how it worked, it was like, oh, this is stupid easy, and I only did it when I had to do it. I never really did it to actively like do it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I did the ones you had to do, or not had to do. I did the ones you could do to like collect certain things, but I didn't like. So I could like there was like an ability you could unlock by doing so much where you could like just like click on stuff and it would like auto do whatever it was, and I was like, that sounds cool. And then I don't think I ever even finished that portion of it. I was like, I just want to shoot that guy and that lady and those two over there. Can I do that?
And you totally can do that.
I would like to blow them up.
Yep, you can totally do that too.
So I may go back and check it out. I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot of work.
And that was something too that I was wishing that they would finish the co-op version of it, because I was hoping that it would be co-op during the single player campaign, just to have fun with your friends and help out. That they wouldn't necessarily be adding some sort of multiplayer deathmatch or anything like that. But that got scrapped a while ago, so we're not going to see anything like that.
Yeah, that's good. Fuck it.
Yep.
I don't care enough about it anyways. One last thing I want to bring up before we wrap this up, and I don't know what it was. I thought I had it saved here, but apparently I fucking didn't. Nope, don't have it. Cool. Awesome. Haha. Is it my phone? Hold on. My phone not sync again? Is that what the problem was?
Could be.
Let's look, because it likes to do that sometimes.
You caught up on any of the Halo stuff?
Fuck no, man. I haven't watched that shit.
As much as I've actually shit on the show, and trust me, I still don't like it, but I keep watching it. There are elements in it that's just like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is the Halo that I wanted. And then there are just still elements in it that are like, oh, we did a whole entire episode on Quan. It's like, like if you made this another show, I'd be okay with it, but it's still not Halo.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it's not Halo, man. It's just not. It's got too many non-fucking Spartan focus points, and it drives me insane.
Well, they've started in the last couple of episodes to actually focus more on Master Chief. But then, like, they had the last episode that I watched was all focused on Quan, because they are moving that storyline along, and they are going to obviously intertwine again. It's still interesting enough to watch for me. I'm invested enough that I'm going to finish out the season. Which, by the way, I kept saying in previous episodes that they're going to cancel this after season 1. Surprise, surprise! They actually already greenlit season 2.
Fuck, really?
Like almost immediately after they launched season 1, they greenlit season 2, and I never read about that. So it is getting a season 2 at this point, unless they somehow cancel season 2 for it. But when the Master Chief storyline gets moving, it's good. I like it. When you get the action sequences, they are very much so fucking badass Halo. Like, there's one sequence where the Covenant start dropping into a UNSC FOB, essentially. The UNSC is trying to secure an artifact, and the Covenant drop in. And while they're trying to get the artifact to the ship, Chief sees another Spartan in need and decides to go to help. So he jumps off the Warthog that he's driving, by the way, jumps onto a Banshee.
Oh, that was, yeah, I saw that episode.
Handles the Banshee into one of the Covenant dropships. I can't remember what they're called. Fucking blows the dropship up. And then in the carnage, which it just kills like everything below the dropship, he fucking just stands up, just basically like just dusts himself off and starts walking towards the Spartan. Then a bigger brute drops in, and he just goes to full on like hand to hand combat with the brute for a second there, and it's just like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree. That part was fucking rad, but then the rest of it was fucking garbage.
Then the rest of it wasn't very good. Yeah, or at least more parts of it weren't very good. honestly like the fact that they are exploring the history of the Spartans and the fact that they were kidnapped as kids, and they are really exploring that. I do honestly like that. I just wish that we would have gotten more, like, there's still no reason to make Cortana a clone that we scrambled clone Halsey's brains
So
and
dumb.
injected into Chief. I still don't see the reason why we had to do something like that.
Also, I don't
Especially when
understand why. Like, how in your pseudoscience does that work?
I can get away with the pseudoscience and just explain it away. I really don't care necessarily about the pseudoscience and future science of that. I just don't see why we had to do that. Why did we have to make it something that was technological in the games, would still make sense as something technological in the series, but basically went a different route for no reason than to just be different? Because she still theoretically operates like Cortana from the games, where she has the ability to show up other places than where Master Chief is. So it doesn't make sense that you injected her into Master Chief.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like it.
because I thought when the injection happened that only Chief would be able to see her, and she would really only be able to interact with Chief. But a few episodes later, that's not the case at all. Halsey can see her. She can materialize to other people, and she can hack into things and get through things on her own without having to be near Master Chief. So it didn't make sense to me.
There's a lot of stuff that didn't make sense on that show.
The Quan storyline is starting to make more sense of what they're doing, but I still just don't feel like that character needed to be there. Like, I still don't really care about that character.
Nope.
At all. But I'm still watching the show, so, I'm giving it ratings. It's still compelling enough for me to watch it.
I may pick it up, but I don't know, man. It makes me upset. I did find a thing. It was renewed for a second season on February 15th of 2022, right before the premiere.
Yeah.
Of the first season or first episode. Yeah.
Yep.
So, you know what? I guess, but still, yeah, you ODST'd it, which is mean to say because I actually like that game, but
I loved ODST.
it went away from like the backbone of Halo, which don't get me wrong. Again, I liked ODST, but it was not a Halo game. Actually, they Halo awarded this. How's that? Halo TV show is the equivalent to the Halo Wars video game.
Fair. I mean, I guess I never played Halo Wars, so...
It's an RTS. That'll tell you that much.
I know. I know what it is.
Fucking garbage.
Fair.
Just saying. It's not my cup of tea, which is hard. Which is weird to say because, as you guys have said, I love everything, but I don't love everything. Anywho, we'll wrap it up there because we got to get going so we can get some food before you see Doctor Strange.
Yep.
So, that'll be it for this week's episode of Comes Naturally. We have been
A Joe.
I have been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.